VCAL PD presents Movie Talk Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the 2Sweet movie show. It's Thursday, 23rd of August. Now, we have some good new movies coming out today because it's Thursday, and first I wanted to start off the program with the Happy Time Murders. Now, this actually releases today. Now, not much. I haven't really heard many reviews about it because it hasn't really been released for that much, for that long, I should say. So, time will tell if it is one of Melissa McCarthy's successful films, or does it go down where Tammy did, right into the rubbish bin. To be honest, you haven't heard much about it. It's directed by Brian Henson. Now, Brian Henson, he directed like all those Muppet Treasure Island films and the Muppet Christmas Carol to go to an adult version of the Muppets. It has an interesting concept. I've got to admit, the trailer was pretty amusing when I went and saw the trailer at the cinemas. Got to admit, it could be a good fun time at the movies. It could even be really well done. I'm not too sure. The screenplay's by Todd Benger. He wrote like some Kung Fu Panda, Secrets of the Furious 5 and Secrets of the Masters. He hasn't really wrote much, so let's see if it is pretty successful. I mean, you've got Melissa McCarthy as Detective Connie Edwards, and it's a film about it's a murder mystery set in a world where humans and puppets coexist, but puppets are viewed as second-class citizens. And when the puppet cast of an 80s children TV show begins to get murdered one by one, a former cop who has since become a private eye takes the case. So no Sesame, all street is the tagline in this film. Now, I've got to admit, could actually be some good fun. I wouldn't mind seeing it, and when I see it, I'll obviously give you a review on here too. But really, I mean, it has a good cast too. I mean, you've got Elizabeth Banks. She was in the Pitch Perfect films. You've got Maya Rudolph from Bridesmaids and Grown Ups and all that. She's not a bad actor either. You've got Joel McHale. He's a funny guy. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment, but the trailer's very funny. Got to admit that for sure. Yeah, so there's the Happy Time Murders. Not really much to say. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet, basically, because don't really have much to say on it until I see it. So now I wanted to review Satyameva Jayate. Now, I saw this on the weekend, and it's a 2018 film. Yeah, it was released this year. And the runtime's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I've got to admit, it is a action-packed crime thriller with many mysteries as well. I mean, I've got to admit that this is the director, Milap Zafri. I mean, he has redeemed himself, and he has directed his best film in his career. He's only directed 2 feature films, which was one an adult comedy, Masti Zadeh, which had a cameo from Ritesh Deshmukh. And the critics and audience really found it offensive and immature. And the other film he directed in the past was the fantasy comedy Jaane Kahan Si Aaya Hai, which starred Jacqueline Fernandez and Priyanka Chopra, and even Akshay Kumar and Ritesh Deshmukh as well. Now, I know I do like those actresses, but I haven't seen the film, so I can't really comment on that. But I've got to admit, those 2 films were disappointments in his career. Now he has come back with Satyam Vijayate and he has proved himself. He created a great film. I've got to tell you, this was really, it did not disappoint. I mean, from the action to the music to the thrills and mystery at every corner. It just did not disappoint on the big screen. It was an absolute blockbuster. It really was. And you know, it's due to the production involved. You know, it's produced by T-Series Films, and they do make some decent films from time to time. You know, in my opinion, it's an outstanding action thriller. It grips you from start to finish. I mean, the story's also quite interesting as well. And it has some death-defying action. You know, there's thrills, there's mystery, there's music. I mean, you know, you've got Dilba, which is sung by Neha Kakkar. Now, she's just, if you're not familiar with Neha Kakkar, she delivers some great singing. She really is a nice singer, and she pulls it off with this film, Satyam Vijayate. She really, and the dancer who dances in it, Nora Fateh, she really is a really nice dancer in Dilba. And then the other song, Dilba, it's just a song which is added in, and it's John Abraham. You know, he goes to a club and everything. It was directed well by Millet Zafri. He directed the song, and he did a good job in my opinion on this one. You know, the song's been trending all over YouTube. It's a massive hit with everyone. It is a bit short, but I would like it to be longer in some instances. Like Dilba, it's a really nice song. And then there was a romantic song called Pani Osa. Now that was another good song. It was one of those romantic type of songs, and it was a song between John Abraham, the main lead, and he played Veer. Now Veer, he plays a good performance in his character. He's got to go on a mission. And he's got to go on a mission to complete Satyam Vijayate. So there's all these letters. And the thing is, he's got to kill these corrupt police officers. Because the main thing about this movie is it's all about corruption. And in India, there's lots of these corrupt police officers. And he has to just go down and kill them. Because they've just got... He straight up kills them. In the start of the movie, he gets like this corrupt police officer and just lights a matchstick and throws it on his head. He legit burns him alive. And those are not just the only things which happen. There are many burnings and killings throughout the whole film. It does not stop, people. It is amazing. And you know, fun fact, this film was also rated A in India, which means 18 plus. So, you know, surprisingly, the Indian classification department thought it was really too violent to show to 16-year-olds or just young people in that instance. But to be honest, I don't really agree with their decision. I thought Millet Zafri delivered a successful film, which is done for the whole family. And, other people have different opinions, I guess you could say. But the thing is, this writing has been pulled off very, very well Now, I've got to admit, Milap Zafri, you'll be surprised to hear this, but he was the screenwriter for that show on SBS 2. Well, it's called SBS Viceland now, but it's SBS Viceland now, but it was SBS 2 when it was out. He actually wrote the successful, one of the best Indian TV shows of all time, and it was called 24. Obviously, the Hindi version to the series with Kiefer Sutherland. Now, I've got to admit, he creates some successful dialogues in 24, obviously. It was a great thriller series, and it was an engaging one. And obviously, Anil Kapoor, he played the part very well of Jai Singh Rathod. He really did pull it off. I mean, but even Milap Zafri, he wrote the dialogue to Kanti, one of those 2002 action movies with Amitabh Bachchan and Sanjay Dutt, and even Malaika Arora Khan. And that film was really, really good, about the bank robbers, and they try to pull off perfect heists to discover one of them is an undercover cop. So I've got to admit, this guy, Milap Zafri, he didn't really direct some successful films. I mean, he directed 3 feature films. But you know, he actually has came back with this one. I got to tell you, after seeing Satyameva Jayate, I think that Milap Zafri can create some more successful, he can direct some more successful action thrillers, or even go into different genres if he likes, because he really did pull off this one. So let's go to the casting. I mean, you've got John Abraham, he plays Veer. Now, John Abraham, one of the biggest successful guys in the Bollywood industry right now. He really is a well-known name. But I don't know, he's lots of people like him, but maybe not everyone. But it really depends, but he does pull off some amazing films. Like, I've got to admit, he's set to star in Balta House, which is an action thriller, which is going to be out next year. And it's directed by Nikhil Advani. So it's surprising to see a director like Nikhil Advani going into a John Abraham film after directing films like Kati Bati, Patiala House and Chandi Chowk to China, but he also directed this thriller called D-Day, so he directs some different genres of films. And there's this other film which hasn't been announced, the name, but it's going to star John Abraham and Tapsi Pannu. Can't wait for that one. But the main reason I'd got to say why John Abraham's very popular, he created one of the best history action dramas, which is PG as well, so it's not an adult thing. It's based on a true story, and it's the director of Tere Bin Laden. He made Pamanu, the story of Pokhran. Now, it was a shame that this didn't come to my local cinema. I was really, really disappointed. I'm going to catch this film on Amazon Prime Video when it releases, I think. I've got to catch this one. But you know, he doesn't disappoint. He's been in action thrillers like Force and Force 2 with Soniksha Sinha. And you know, even stuff like Rocky Handsome. This is the stuff he likes. This is the stuff he is good in. He's in his element when he has all these good action films. Even Wazir, where he was with Amitabh Bachchan, but he wasn't the main character in that one. But he still put off amazing performances. And especially, I gotta admit, Madras Cafe, it's a bit underrated. What I mean is, not many people know about it, but they really should. It also stars Nagis Fakhri. And it really was an amazing film. I remember that one. So yeah, John Abraham, he doesn't disappoint. I got to tell you, in this film, he pulls it off in his acting. He's a very charismatic guy. He just really does pull off his performance in this one. But in all his films he stars in, so it's not just this one. And they do have a good bond, you know, when they're on screen together. John Abraham and Manoj Bajpayee. They really do go well together on screen.
नूरे खुदा करम की नजर हो मौला मेरी दुआ में असर हो हाल दिल या नबी
So I think he really pulled it off. Director Milap Zafri, he pulled it off. But the writing, the dialogues are very patriotic. Because this was set to release for Independence Day, which it did get released for, I've got to admit that Milap Zafri, he did write the dialogues for this film, and he did design these good dialogues into the script. They really were, you know, you just made them clap. You know, they were just really clap-worthy dialogues. You can see lots of them on YouTube as well, in the dialogue promos. But I mean, you know, it's not just his acting, it's not just his acting and dialogues, John Abraham, it's also, you know, the stunts and everything, the action, which was very, very gripping on screen. And I've got to admit, in one of the songs, Tajadare Haram, they go to like this festival thing. I don't really know what they call it, but they like whip themselves with like these blade type things, knives. And you know, it's actually a thing people do in the Muslim culture. But seriously, he pulls it off in this scene too. You know, you can check it out on YouTube. It really is quite amazing. But, you know, I've talked about the directing. It was done really well, in my opinion. Also, the writing, the casting was good. Like Manoj Bajpayee, I mean, he has created some successful films too. I think, you know, he's been in Gangs of Wasseypur, which lots of people know him for, playing Sardar Khan. He really is one of those well-known actors, and he does well. Same as Ayari with Siddharth Malhotra. You know, he really does pull it off. Even Bargi too. But Sakar 3, I think he could have done better in that one. It depends on the film, but overall, he's a great actor, in my opinion. He really does do lots of his roles well. So it didn't really disappoint. And the next one I wanted to talk to you about was Aisha Sharma. Now, this was her first film in Bollywood. And I gotta admit, she's not on screen as much as you'd like her to. But she does pull it off in the Paniosa song. She really does have a good chemistry with John. So I thought that was really done well as well. And it is a nice song to listen to. It was the singer, he was quite famous. He's quite famous, Atif Aslam and Tulsi Kumar. So, you know, they're pretty good singers who sang Paniosa. I mean, it really was done well, to be honest. I mean, he's a good singer, Atif Aslam. You know, we saw him singing in Race 3. You know, he sung the song Selfish. So he really did pull it off in this one too. And I've got to admit, got to think, the cinematography in those massive fight scenes were really performed well. I've got to admit, the cinematographer, he's famous for some great films like Blood Money or like Fox. Now, you know, that starred Arjun Rumpel and even Sunny Deol. And, you know, they are some good actors, but, you know, I thought the cinematography was done well in those films, but the film wasn't really that popular with critics. I think it was a bit of a disappointment, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, it is a good cinematography type film. Even the editing, well, the editing by Mahir Zafri, he must be related to him. Now, you know, he's only edited like one feature film, Kati Bati, and, you know, he's a bit familiar with that one, but what I mean is his editing could have been a bit better. A couple of times it transitioned from songs to action scenes and dialogue scenes, but it didn't really work. At times I thought his editing could be crispier and, you know, done more well. You know, it really depends. Sometimes, you know, it was a good entertaining film, but there could have been some things which could have been done better in the technical side of things. I mean, you've also got to admit, the stunts, Amin Khatib, he's a great action director. He really directs those action scenes quite well. You know, you're familiar with him being an action coordinator in Lucknow Central, which was released last year. Or even Farangi, which was a bit of a flop. And, you know, considering Kapil Sharma, he's on the Kapil Sharma show. He's on that comedy show, right? But he actually did pull it off in his show, but the movie was a bit disappointment last year. But even Ravi Verma, he's a good action director as well. Considering he's made some great films like he provided the action coordination for Raise, which starred Shah Rukh Khan. Now, Shah Rukh Khan is quite a great guy as well. He's a great actor in Bollywood, and, you know, I've got to admit, he has created some flops, but he has created some great, well-known films as well. I mean, it was a bit of a mixed critic response on Raise, but, you know, the film was produced well. It was produced by Bhushan Kumar, you know, involved in the T-series films. He has produced films like Raid with Ajay Devgan. I mean, Ajay Devgan, it was a film about a tax officer. And people really thought that it wouldn't be as good, considering the trailer was, you know, mediocre, but it didn't really feel like it was gonna hit a mark with audiences. But considering it really did pull off. Ajay Devgan did a great performance, and so did Sabur Shukla. Now he's been in lots of good, successful Indian films. Even he was the corrupt police officer in Slumdog Millionaire with Anil Kapoor. So I've got to admit, a lot of English people listening to my program would be familiar with that film. It really was successful. Even he was in films such as PK, which was directed by Rajkumar Hirani. You know, he directed Sanju this year, and it was a really perfect, wonderful film, and it was done really, really smartly by audiences, by the director. Even Alina De Cruz, I mean, she has been with Ajay Devgan with one other film, which was called Badshaho. Now, I did see that last year as well. Now, that film was okay, but it obviously could have been better. I mean, I could provide a review for it in the future. But I've got to admit that Bhushan Kumar, you know, he's produced films like Fane Khan as well, which was, you know, it was released in Australia too. But, you know, it was a bit of a disappointment with audiences as well. I mean, Anil Kapoor, he's a great actor, and Aishwarya Rai Bachchan delivered some good performances in her performances too. But, it didn't really strike a mark on audiences. The direction by Atul Manjareka was not really done well, to be honest. It could have been better. But, they've created films like Blackmail. And as I was talking about Blackmail had some good songs by Guru Randhawa. Well, he actually sang one song in this film. Now, that was called Patola. Now, Patola is also a quite nice film with audiences too. They really did like it. It was one of those good Punjabi songs. And it really did strike a chord in audiences. And then, there was another film they also produced, Bhushan Kumar, it was a Sonu Ke Titu Kaswiti. Now, that was a film between two guys in between one woman. Now, that had a song, it had some good songs like Dil Chori or Bom Diggy Diggy Bom Bom, which was sung by Zack Knight. And that was a really, really hit song. It has over 1 million views on YouTube. Even more, I think. It really was a popular one. Even films like Airlift, Bhushan Kumar produced them. I mean, it was about Iraq. And, they invade Kuwait in August 1990. And it's about an Indian businessman. He becomes the spokesperson for more than 170,000 countrymen. It's an adventure film and it's a history film. Now, it's got Akshay Kumar in it, and he really does put on an amazing performance in that film, I've got to admit. He really is great in that. Directed by Raj Menon. Now, Raj Menon is a quite good director. He directed a film called Chef after he did Airlift, but Airlift was more of a hit with audiences. This movie was done well because it had a song called Dil Cheez Tujhe De Di. Now, that was sung by Ajit Singh. Now, Ajit Singh is a quite popular singer too. He is a hit singer in Bollywood, in the Bollywood films. And yeah, enough of the producing. Let's talk about the composer. Now, the composer really did pull off amazing things because he composed the film A Wednesday, which was a very big hit. It was successful. I mean, it was, I think, one of those art films, or it was really done well because it was directed by Neeraj Pandey. He directed some very great crime, drama and mystery films. I mean, you've got Anupam Kher. He really is a great actor. He pulled off amazing performances in The Big Sick last year, which was a English film, a Hollywood film. And even he was in Love Sonia, which was played here in the Indian Film Festival over in Hoyts. He's been in lots of films. Anupam Kher, he's a very popular actor. He's been in lots of things. Even Silver Lining Playbook with Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. So he has been in some English films too. But, I've got to admit, the composer, he has composed some great films like Baby too. So the composing was done well in this film, Satyam Eva Jayate. It was Akshay Kumar again, pulling off an amazing film. An amazing action thriller about elite counterintelligence. And about the unit, and also starred Tapsi Pannu and Rana Dugabati. It had some great... Even you've got to admit, the sound department, it was edited well by the sound editor. he's a popular sound editor. He's been involved in some, he's been in, like he edited the sound for this film, but he also edited the sound for Race 3, so, he's a popular sound editor in Bollywood. Even the visual effects, the motion graphics, it was done well. Considering the visual effects were done, the same company which did Gold, which I saw also. And even some great, amazing films like the series 24 or Tiger Zinda Hai as well. I mean, Tiger Zinda Hai had some great graphics in it, didn't it? Directed by Ali Abazafar. He created a perfect film with the action and stunts. I did review it earlier in the year. And even the compositor, he's been involved in films like Viridi Wedding, Shivai with Ajay Devgan, or I've got to admit that the director of photography by Raj Chakravarti, he did pull off an amazing film in the second unit. He was the assistant camera for Veer Zara. It's his first film. He worked on the second unit of the camera and electrical department. I've got to admit, this story is really engaging, It's about policemen in Mumbai. And they're tasked with the safety of an enormous city, but they treat their women with disrespect. Lots of police officers are corrupt, and they treat lots of people with disrespect. So this has good dialogues about respecting women as well, I've got to admit. And the thing is, this guy Veer, he has to stop these killings. So, all these police officers are meaning, what I mean, he doesn't have to stop the killings. He's killing the people because he's killing the people because they are corrupt and they're not good police officers. And to be honest, the media, they're looking for answers. And the public and everything. So it has, news reports and also people speaking, just like Death Wish did about the crimes. Veer as a person, if you're seeing him with a corrupt police officer, he's just going to kill him. He's going to light a matchstick and burn him alive. And he's a person, he's not scared of killing, and he's not even scared of dying. He has this agenda, and he has this agenda that he's going to stop the corruption. So that story was interesting too. So Manoj Bajpayee, he's a police officer, and he's trying to catch Veer because he is doing the killings. He's strong, he's courageous and patriotic, and he's also clean because he's not corrupt like the other people. He just wants to stop. He's the best at what he does. Veer, he's a vigilante. He just likes people being respected, so he just stops when others are being disrespected by corrupt police officers. Shivant, he's a good guy and he just wants to protect the law because he's in a job, which is the police, so he has to respect it. And Veer, he wants to take matters into his own hands. He just wants to do it. He wants to stop the nonsense. So, so they're both good people. Don't say, like Veer, he's a villain, he just wants to kill people for the sake of it. He has a point of killing the people. If the people have disrespected him or treated him like shit, he will kill them. Or even if he hasn't even seen them, or he's heard that they have been disrespecting society, he will go there and kill them. He will light a matchstick and burn them alive. Seriously, this film, sometimes it could be hard to handle, but, if you're not really scared of all this stuff, it's a good family film. It really is a good family film. There's all these police officers, and all of them are lit up with matchsticks. They really are. He lits up this matchstick. I mean, there was this scene in a fuel station, and after the massive song Dilba, it's even in the trailer as well. There's this corrupt police officer, and he's going up to a petrol pump, and he's smoking a cigarette while he's putting fuel into a car. So then what he does, just grabs him, throws him to the ground, and then lights him alive. And then the scene where the petrol station blows up, that was spectacular. That was a great scene, He delivers some good dialogues. John Abraham, like, Masakena koi, like, Tujhe roke dikha, There's these amazing dialogues. I can't really translate them into English because I don't really know. I mean, I remember, but I don't really remember the full dialogue. To be honest, with the lives of those numerous policemen, like the public, lots of the public actually like Veer. They're like happy that he's been doing this because he's doing what people deserve. He's crushing the corrupt people, which is very well done, to be honest. I've got to say, this is just a blockbuster. It has solid direction, outstanding dialogues especially, and the action was filled with emotion. I mean, it's emotional, it's thrilling at times, it has everything. It's a good action musical bonanza. Every time he kills someone, it plays this religious theme, and it's like Shivam, which is an Indian god. And there was another scene where it plays this Allah chant. It's like Allah, it like plays this Allah chant. So it had for good religions. He had done it for. And I felt really happy. And I just wanted to clap because the bad guys were just knocked down by Veer. He really did. And to be honest, the songs, they don't disrupt the pace of the movie. They just make it better. I mean, Paniosa is a nice song. It's just one of those romantic songs by Atif Aslam. And Aisha Sharma, she does deliver a great performance in her limited role. Well, she's in it for a bit, but the main two people are John Abraham and Manoj Bajpayee. I mean, they're the main people who get the most screen time. It's some strong action, and it is gory at times too, but not too gory. I mean, some people just might not be able to handle it. I'm not sure, but certainly did rock it, and He delivered some great films. You know, even I've got to say, there's this hospital sequence. And, you know, you got to watch out for that one because it was very, very thrilling and gripping. It really was a great one. And, you know, there's lots of other people too. You know, you got to admit, Achita Agro, she's a Muslim girl. And, you know, she's harassed by a cop. And then John Abraham Veer, he just kills him and stuff. It's a good thing too. You know, Paniosa, as I said, you know, it's a good romantic song. It really was nice. And Sanjay Chaudhary's background score, it's dramatic. And it's exhilarating. It does really pack a punch. You know. You know, it's a gripping drama and it is powerful. It really is powerful at times. It's a powerful film. Could be one of the best movies of John Abraham. One of them. He certainly has made better, but it is one of his best.
सच में अच्छे दिन आ गए। लगभग 4200 धर्म है इस दुनिया में और उनकी वजह से न जाने कितने लोग हर दिन मरते हैं, मारते हैं। लेकिन तुम जैसों ने एक नए धर्म को जन्म दिया है, करप्शन।
किलर जो भी है वो कोई आम मुजरिम नहीं है, लेकिन वो अपने दिमाग में एक सिपाही है जो सत्य के लिए लड़कर झूठ पर जय दे चाहता है।
अब तुझे ऐसी मौत मारूंगा कि तू इस जन्म में चलेगा, लेकिन दर्द अगले जन्म तक चलेगा।
छोटी मछली बहुत पकड़ ली, अब मगरमच्छ पकड़ने की बारी है। कानून को हाथ में लेने का हक सिर्फ कानून के हाथों को होता है। हम खाकी वर्दी वाले उसे खाक में मिलाएंगे। इस साले को छोड़ना नहीं है।
कोई सीरियल किलर तो नहीं हो ना, वो जो शहर में पुलिस वालों को मार रहा है?
तू तो
तुम्हारी आंखें किसी किलर की नहीं है।
सरकारी रिवॉल्वर की गोली में आज भी बहुत दम है, तू बचेगा नहीं।
2 टके की जान लेने 9 मिलीमीटर की गोली नहीं, 56 इंच का जिगरा चाहिए। एक शपथ आपने ली थी, अपनी वर्दी, अपने फर्ज के लिए। एक शपथ मैंने ली है बाबा, इस मेडल की खोई हुई इज्जत लौटाने की। जिन्हें खाकी पहनने का हक नहीं, उन्हें खाक में मिलाने की। रोक कर दिखा।
रोकूंगा भी और ठोकूंगा भी।
मार मार, देखा कितना दम है एक औरत की मार में। अब दुनिया का कोई भी मर्द ये ताना नहीं मारेगा कि तूने चूड़ियां पहनी है क्या।
You know, the music, it's loud and in your face and it works. You know, the climax fight scene. John, as you saw in the trailer, Veer, he's up against these police officers and he just hits them with the police car. Like, he takes the police door off the car and just, like, you know, throws it at them and stuff. It's very good to see as well. And I've heard it's a throwback to 80s cinema, so I should go and see some more 80s Bollywood films to see some similarities. You know, I really thought it's the perfect release for Independence Day week. You know, the title says a lot. So, you know, maybe you're not familiar with the English title. I mean, you're familiar with the name Satyameva Jayate, but you don't know what it means in English. Truth alone triumphs. And I've got to admit, this really did work. It's a great film. It was powerful. It really was a powerful vigilante film. You know, great name too. It's a great film. You know, Manoj Bajpayee, he's got to find the killer. You know, public, they support the killer. You know, because he's just cleaning the rubbish from the system. You know, the mission, it's a big mission. It goes for a long time, but it's powerful, and 2 hours, 20 minutes go by very fast. I got to admit, the first half went very quickly. I'm like, what? It's already the intermission? Like, I was a bit shocked. I mean, it just felt like an hour or felt like 50 minutes, but obviously an hour and a half went through, but it was very interesting too. John Abraham and Manoj Bajpayee deliver some great lines together too, and it's a great entertainment film. You know, it really was powerful. Like Dilbar, you know, fans of the original will certainly like the remake version. It's a good remake of that original song. And Tajdar-e-Haram, this is the most powerful song, as I said, through that Muslim festival where everyone's killing each other and everything. Really, everyone's excited when that song comes on, about respecting women and also respecting many people. You know, this really is interesting about the corrupt cops and everything, you know. And the music's powerful too. You know, it's a revenge drama and it's about patriotism, so it mixes the two. And you know, it really does work. It really does. He's rowdy, he delivers attitude, and man, you know, he's a man. It's quite powerful, I've got to admit. So let's see, final result. Satyameva Jayate, I'd probably give it a 9.5. It really was powerful, and it delivered an amazing performance. I've got to tell you, it really did surprise me in a lot of aspects of this film. Now I think I've done a full show here today. I think it's time to finish 2Sweet movie reviews. I'll see you next week. I'll probably be reviewing Gold. I might review The Happy Time Murders or Black Klansman. Anyway, I really did have a lot of things to say about this one, and it did surprise me, and everyone's got to see it because it is amazing. Alright, I'm out. See ya.